Welcome to the Kidawa Show.
Cafe Chat.
Hello, everybody. We're waiting for Ben to arrive. Oh, Ben, you're here. Welcome, yeah. Ben. Welcome to this show here.
Hello.
Hope you had a decent time getting over here. I know you traveled far to see me at this cafe.
Well, you're definitely worth seeing.
Oh, thank you very much. Did you have any issues with the traffic?
Well, you know what it's like with Vietnamese traffic. It's not that great, is it? Nearly got hit by a tuk-tuk on the way here, so that wasn't fun. But other than that, pretty good.
Oh, tuk-tuk. It must have been somebody from Cambodia, because we don't have too many tuk-tuks here.
I'm going all based on action movies from the 1960s.
I invited you over since this is our first episode like this, the Cafe Chats portion of the Kidawa Shows, the follow-up chats. So I decided to invite Ben over to my place. Next time we'll go over to his. What we see here in the background is actually one of my favorite places in Vietnam. It's one of the oldest towns, and it's called Hoi An. And it's a huge tourist place, but it does have a lovely appeal to it compared to the rest of the country in some fashion. So, and in the middle here we have a vase with the country flower. So that is a lotus that you see in front of you. Now, Ben, tell me, how do you feel today? I know you've had a toothache. How's that going for you?
Not so bad. The first few days of this week has been pretty horrendous with pain and things because the root of the tooth has been it's got an infection. So. It's been hypersensitive to heat, so I couldn't eat or drink anything hot, couldn't bite. It's getting better. I've got to go back to the dentist tomorrow, oh joy, for follow-up treatment, but getting better, slowly.
What's trending in your world lately?
On a personal level, it's still going to be like video games and events as well. I've been going to a few events recently. I haven't been able to really edit the videos and put them on the internet that I'm making. But there's been a few events, like character events, movie events, stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, you've been leading another life, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been busy.
Have you gotten married there yet? In that second life, that ESO life?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've got... I've got a wife and a husband.
Oh, wow. Well, so you have an estate, you have everything.
Yeah, I've got everything, and I ride around on a lion. So that's quite nice.
Ooh, wow. Since this is our first episode, I'm just going to mention these details. They're going to be 30 minutes always. And we have a few questions from your fans, from your lovely fans, so I wanted to cover those first in case we start running out of time. So if there's something pressing or something on your mind, tell us now. What do you think?
Not really at the moment. I mean, the gaming videos have been a bit quiet recently, so yeah, apologies to fans about that, but... work has been insanely busy. Private life has been very, very busy as well. And then when my toothache started, I pretty much just shut down and I couldn't do anything, couldn't concentrate on anything. It's getting better now, and hopefully tomorrow's treatment's going to finish it off because they're going to remove the nerves from the tooth tomorrow. So
wow.
Yeah, when you get a toothache, it hurts the whole of the right side of my face, and I was sleeping maybe 1 or 2 hours a day most of the time, which was just horrendous.
When's the last time you've been to the dentist?
Oh, I go every month or 2 months.
Oh, okay.
I'm scared to death of dentists. I think they're evil people and they're just soulless creatures. But my dentist I'm actually friends with. We go out drinking and stuff.
He's okay. And he's literally a friend.
He's safe. But once he puts his little hat and his mask on and he gets those rubber gloves on, he turns into a fiend.
That's right.
Just wants to drill me.
You lose trust.
That sounds dirty, doesn't it?
It is dirty, though. It is.
Yeah, he just wants to put things in my mouth and just sort of rummage around inside and then takes things out, puts stuff in. If we weren't talking about the dentist, this is pretty sick stuff I'm saying, but yeah. It's other than that, it's been pretty laid back, but I hate I hate dentists, but my one's good. He's the only English-speaking dentist in my area. So
I see. He doesn't talk to you too much. Like when he keeps your mouth open and operates, he doesn't ask you something, and then you have to try to speak through all that help.
No. He's a bit more sensitive than that. He doesn't like you're sitting there mouth open, and he goes. He says, have you been having any problems eating? You know, I'm lucky, I don't have to do any of that. It's usually yes/no questions, and it's either I raise my hands the Japanese way and just do like X for bats, or I just go on okay. So it's like, do you have any pain? And I'm like, okay, it's okay. Do you have any pain? It hurts. So
nice. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Anyway, if you guys know anything about Ben, or if you follow Ben, you should know that he's probably one of the busiest people you'll ever meet. So I'm glad he can at least come this far and spend some time with me at this cafe, at this place. Excuse me. Trying to get a waitress, but I don't know. I ran out of my drink here. So luckily I brought this other mug with me here. And yeah, I usually keep this one just in case, because this one I can really trust. If you notice this mug or thermos, if you open it, it's got this great little lid here with a double opening. You got this smaller opening for like hot drinks, and then you have this bigger opening down here. If you turn that top around, look at that. Oh,
I think that is very good quality item. I may buy myself several of those and just give them to people as gifts. That's an amazing item to buy.
It's beautiful. It's so sturdy. Look at that. Look at that. I have about 600 of them. No.
I've got 600 T-shirts. I don't wear anything else anymore.
That's it. It even makes things taste better. Incredible.
What are you drinking?
I can't really discuss it. It's sort of a mixture of what you see in the background and a little concoction of my own. They figured out how to do it, but I think they can't get one of the special ingredients. So,
wow, I'm shocked that you have that.
Oh,
thank you very much.
I have to support my. Look at that mug on there, guys. Ben's one of the most supportive people I've ever met, and so deep appreciation to him. Okay, here's some questions. Some great fans from Ben's side coming in here. First, let's start with Kate Lambert. She asked retro games. She wanted to discuss that. Opinions on playing them in the modern day and the people who prefer retro to modern. Then, so details like Mega Drive, SNES, Super Nintendo games, things like that. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I haven't played retro games since when they were considered next gen. I don't usually have anything good to say about retro games. She knows this. Retro games. For playing them in the modern day for me is really, it's kind of a bit boring, because it's like back then they only had like 4 buttons, and those buttons only ever did just 4 things only. So when you play a game now, you've got a controller that's got like you've got what, eight normal buttons, plus you've got a directional control pad as well, and then you can do button combinations that will make them do different things. You can get like maybe about 20 commands from one controller, and the games are all going to be 3D movement sort of thing, not like 2D side-scrolling sort of crap. Jesus.
And they're really hard too.
Yeah. I mean, when I used to play them, I was awesome at them. And then before I moved to Japan, I decided to give them another go before I leave, because I was selling them all. And I plugged in one game and I couldn't get past the first level. I just thought, it's so simple, but it's just so damn hard. Yeah, retro games, playing them back then is fine, but it's like with anything, you move along with the time.
Yeah,
if you got a smartphone now, you don't go back to one of the old brick phones and say, oh, I like this one more, because the call reception's better,
exactly.
Or it's more interesting.
My take's kind of similar. The last one I looked into was Mega Man X8 or something like that, yeah. X8, and I do want to get more into that, but I got a controller for it and everything. It, like you said, your mind kind of moves on. Like at the beginning, you want to get back into something, but it gets kind of dry for you real quick. I think that's a very specific genre to certain people and niches out there. Like even EverQuest 1, I got it back into that. I was excited to get into the old graphics because that was my first real MMO. But after a little bit of playing that, you start to see all the things, that should be improved.
Yeah. I think the furthest back I've gone recently to playing an old game, it's only going to be like a few years ago. The oldest game I played recently is probably Skyrim, because when Elder Scrolls Online was coming out, I was really excited for it, but I had to wait like 4 days longer because I was importing mine from America. So I didn't have an Elder Scrolls game. Everyone else is playing it, but to be honest, server crashes at the beginning anyway. It didn't matter so much. But I decided I want to get back into Elder Scrolls, so I just went and dug out my PlayStation 3 and then managed to find my Skyrim CD and threw that in and played that for about like 3 hours a day every day until Elder Scrolls came out.
There you go. Speaking of Elder Scrolls and retro, I was thinking about going back into Arena and try. That's one of the first games from the series, and kind of going through that and see how that goes. Fernando Ramos asks, how do you try to verify if someone indeed has paid it forward?
Generally, when I do paying it forward, usually it's to people that I'm actually in communication with, and people often say that I am kind of like the Big Brother is watching sort of thing. They always say, "Oh, how did you know that?" or "How did you figure that out?" And it's just that I listen to people, and I'm quite good at figuring out situations quite well. But generally, it's going to depend on what they're actually what they're going to be doing, and what I feel is like a good justification of them doing something. It's going to depend what I do for them. If I do something small, like I don't know, if I'm doing carpentry work or something like that, and somebody says, "Oh, can you help me with some carpentry work?" I'm not going to go and say to them, "Oh, okay, I want you to go and build a table for these people," or something like that.
Right.
But I usually just say to them, "Look, I help you. I don't want anything in return. Instead, I want you to help somebody else, and you just tell me when you've done it." And that's good enough for me. And if they don't let me know, I usually remind them.
I like that. I like that you're straightforward of it. That's what I'm trying to say. I like that Ben's straightforward
I'm really
of it.
Direct.
Yeah.
If I don't like something, I just say, "No, that's shit," or "No, I don't like that at all," or "I don't like what you're saying. If you say that again, I'll be gone," sort of thing. I don't really take much nonsense from people, and if I'm going to help somebody, I expect them not to help me so much, but to help someone else, or at least show me some gratitude. I don't want them to fake it. If they're like, "Oh, thank you very much," but they don't really mean it, for me, I know that they don't mean it, so it kind of ruins the moment, and then I kind of wish that I hadn't done it. But instead, I'm happier that they do something for somebody else, and I'll say, "Look, I help you. I don't want anything in return. You help somebody else. You just tell me when you've done it, and then I'll feel like I've achieved something out of this."
Right, there you go.
And then, to be honest, I've only ever had one person that hasn't bothered to do anything, and basically they asked me for something else a bit like a year or two later, and I was like, "No, you don't help anyone else. Why should I help you?" Sorry.
I think I'm more passive like that, and it depends on your position in life and what kind of people you deal with, day to day. But I think I'm more passive like that. I'm not going to remind it, but then when that person kind of comes back and asks for more, or deals with somebody I know, then I kind of know how to react and straighten things out. I guess for me, in reply to that, I'll go from the Kidawa Show perspective. I do a lot of research. I watch people's channels before and after we have our conversation. So within the videos, if they do a blog or a vlog like Ben does as well, if they show appreciation for other channels and I see them collaborate, you see kind of connections between people and even what they post all over Facebook and social media. So that's kind of how I keep an eye on it, and make sure that it's not all about themselves and their channel and just pushing viewers their way, seeing what other collaborations they do and kind of, feeling it out in their character as well. That also determines how likely they'll be probably coming back on the show and so forth and so on. If that was clear.
I've noticed some people. I'm not gonna start name dropping because I don't want. I know some of them are a bit unhinged, but I know some people.
Gotta keep it real though.
Yeah. Some people have I've seen on your show, and they've had their hour-long interview. You've put in at least a few days of editing it all together, and then they barely comment, share it, or they got nothing to say about it, sort of thing, and they don't bother to help you out at all. And if it was me in your position, you're a very tolerant person. If it was me, I'd just be like, all right, screw you, delete the video.
I have to be where I am physically. Sure, I say that at times, but at least what I do is at least I try to do an exchange of the equal amount of energy, so if they keep watching, keep commenting, I return that. Unless I just love their channel, then it wouldn't matter. But at least in that case, that takes out another channel I have to watch every day. So if I don't really want to watch them and support them, if they don't give me that, that takes them out. And I think that's fair. It's nothing, against them. It's just energy and exchange.
One hand washes the other, really, doesn't it? If their hand's going to be behind their back, then that's it.
All right, Patrick Sinclair asks, I'd like to know about Japanese lifestyle and events that seem somewhat crazy compared to Western countries.
All right. The weirdest one I went to was a penis festival. Oh, you like that?
Well, they have a penis puppetry theater or something like that in America, so just reminded me of that.
That's Americans for you. I went to what's it called, Kanamara Matsuri, and it's in, I think, Kanagawa Prefecture, and basically it's the ceremony of the steel phallus, and they have basically these statues. They're about a meter tall of these penises. So there's a metal one, there's a wooden one, and then there's a pink one. I don't know what it's made of, and they have them on these. I can't remember the name of them. Mikoshi, I think. This platform that you sit on your shoulders, and they basically do a ceremony, and then they leave, and they have this long walk from one side of the town to the other, carrying it on their shoulder, chanting. All of them are usually wearing some kind of costume that's related to that event, and that was quite crazy. There were thousands of people there watching that, just trying to look at these giant metal cocks. It was quite funny. And they had one that was all transvestites, which they were the most entertaining to watch. They were fantastic to watch. And so
what do they do?
Well, they were not real cross dressers or anything. They were just doing it for fun. But they were wearing the most ridiculous, outrageous things. One of them was wearing a G-string with thigh-high fishnets and a short skirt, so you could see his ass and you could see his bulge, and then a cropped top with big fake boobs underneath it, sort of thing, and this long wig and a beard. And there were loads of people like that.
Right, the beard finished it off perfectly.
The beard. When I thought, wow, that's one ugly lady, and then when suddenly she turned her head, I was like, Jesus Christ, what the fucking hell was that? It looked like Hagrid in a dress from Harry Potter. It was terrible.
Right. Nice. Lunch lady.
There's the Penis Festival character ones as well, because in Japan, characters, for regional areas, are hugely popular. And the events are usually just insane. I went to one that I did a video of recently, Funashi. He's one of the biggest characters going at the moment. Absolutely crazy character, but it's not something you ever see in other countries.
Yeah, awesome. And you'll keep us updated on that too. So make sure you show us everything, not just the cute things out there and the pretty things. I want to see the real stuff.
I'm gonna try to go to that Kanamara Matsuri again, maybe next year. yeah, which will be like in Golden Week, sort of. No, I think it's in maybe March. So I'll try and go again, and I'll try and do a full video on it. Because back then I wasn't doing YouTubing when I had that. I've got the videos of it, but I never made it into a YouTube video, which has now given me an idea to actually make it into a YouTube video using my stock footage.
Right on. Erica asks, arrogance. You act it, but you are not it. It's just for fun. I'm guessing she's referring to me since she commented there. And it's true. When you act on these shows, late night shows, that's the kind of humor. That's a lot of American English humor. Is just that kind of arrogance and then also self-deprecating humor, putting yourself down. So there's quite a scheme, a realm of humor range. So the question is, what do you do with arrogant people? Ben, let's start with you.
Well, with arrogant people, I usually completely ignore them like they don't exist, and usually their arrogance gradually decreases until the point that they're actually civil. That usually works the best for me.
I totally agree. I'm becoming more not quite as patient as with my other things on that matter. When I see arrogance, and if it's a recurring person that I see in my life, dismiss them almost immediately, and I make it almost clear to them that I'm not paying attention to them anymore. So hopefully, again, passive aggressive, right? But so hopefully, that will hit them in the mind and
give them no
act
attention, and they can't feed anymore.
Like a troll.
Exactly.
Right? Okay, Link Mason has 3 questions. Annoying kids playing online games using chat. What do you say? You're playing an online game. I'm not playing anything currently, so let's go with Ben.
I block them as soon as I hear a kid's voice. I mean, I'm not saying I hate kids, but when they're playing adult games, I don't agree with that. Yeah, fair enough, some games are not, that bad, but I've never had a good experience with anyone under 19 or 20 years old in a video game. So usually as soon as I hear their voice, they get added onto a sort of like a mute list, so I can't hear their voice anymore. Because the problem in the game, in Elder Scrolls at the moment, is people complaining about vampire and werewolf bites. And oh, bite me, don't scam me, how much? Most of the time I hear kids whining about it, so I just get fed up of it. And I just change over and use guild chat or party chat only.
At least we have that option now, so it's good because the games are evolving with the crowd as well. We didn't used to have as many, children within these games, but now it's overrun. So,
too many lazy parents.
Oh, he hit the nail on the head, and I can go on that forever. But let's keep going with this. Link Mason asks, what do you do when someone doesn't pay it forward?
They pretty much get excluded from ever being helped again, or generally I won't help somebody unless I think they're actually capable of helping somebody else. So when somebody asks me for assistance with anything, if I think they're incapable of actually helping somebody else, then I'm not going to help them. I'm just going to give them advice on what to do and leave it to them to actually do it. Because typically if somebody doesn't have the ability to actually help someone else, then it usually means that they don't have the ability to help themselves. So why should they ask me to do something that they should be able to do themselves?
Exactly.
They can't, if that makes any sense. But
I'd say it sure does. I'd say it depends on the level of that, how much help they did receive, how much energy went into that, but definitely the relationship changes. I'd give them a cold shoulder to start with, maybe act just more further away from that person in case they ask for help again or for something. If they just want to be friends, that can work itself out eventually, but definitely it's something you'll keep in mind. And again, it depends on the level of help. I mean, if it's something small, it's less of a deal for me.
Yeah, if it's something small, I usually, that's not that bad sort of thing. Or I'll ask them to do something just out of principle. But if it's something huge, it takes a lot of consideration before I accept.
Right. And you have to look into their own abilities. What's their ability at helping someone and all that.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3, people expecting perfection when new games are released or when DLC is released. Downloadable content. What do you think?
Do you want the uncensored version?
Yes, of course.
They're fucking
Although we're not
idiots.
bleeping on this show. We're not bleeping on this
They
show.
are. Okay, if you're not bleeping, they are fucking idiots. Anyone who expects perfection from something that is programmed is a retard. There is never perfection. When these people get this new game, it comes out and it's an online game, and they whine that the servers are overloaded on the first couple of days. The history of the last 5 years of online games for any big online game, it repeats itself with every single game. There has never been a game released that's had a perfect release, and people know this, but they still expect perfection. They're just stupid. Generally, I'm kind of, if I order a game from America or the UK, it's going to take me like 5 days to receive it. 5 days after release, I'll get it. I don't really care that I'm getting it 5 days late, because it means that the teething problems are going to be ironed out by then.
I say that, there's no rush, and we're not kids here, but for kids it's a different realm, it's a different reality. But I say,
it's just low attention span and laziness.
Right. Well, and it's you realize if a game's coming out later, there's a reason for it, and it's probably the better of the reasons for it. They're probably fixing up some bugs.
Yeah.
Personally, people like that ruined a MMO that I was into years ago. I think I've mentioned it before somewhere, and that was Vanguard. That was supported by Sony as well, but it was kind of a branch off. At release, it had a lot of bugs. I didn't experience any of them, but at that point, like 50% of the people dropped. 5 years later, or 6 years later, the company closed down finally after 6 years. So it was running pretty well, but funding stopped, interest stopped, and it was all because of release date and those people with short attention. I don't even call it short attention span in this case.
It always makes me laugh when you see the posts like, I bought this game, it's been out 1 day, I can't connect online, give me my money back. I'm like, fuck off.
It's like people complaining
What are you, an idiot?
about cell phones or flying on a plane. Really?
Yeah.
Just be thankful you got this. Come on. Or if I complain with Skype, during these interviews, come on. He's on the other side of the world here, right?
Yeah, when I was on a plane and somebody was using a cell phone in mid-flight, my colleague was sitting next to him, and my colleague said, "You need to turn your phone off. It's going to interfere with the electrical equipment. It's not supposed to be on." And the guy just told him, "Shut up, fuck off, mind your own business." Yeah. So my friend grabbed his phone and just dipped it in his drink.
Nice.
Oh no, your phone's broken. I'll buy you one when we get to the other end. And it was just cold silence the rest of the flight. It was amazing.
Well, he did offer to buy him one, though. That's pretty noble.
Yeah, but he didn't, because he didn't like his attitude,
Right.
so...
Nice. Lesson learned the hard way.
I wouldn't have bought
All right,
one.
final question comes from Yuna, and then we got to head out. I got to go buy something. Ben's got to go. He's got a date somewhere else. So, Yuma asks, what do you like to do for vacation?
I like outdoors, so rafting, canyoning, exploring woods and mountains and hillsides kind of things. I love swimming and things, so usually involving water.
Okay, all right. And I like going abroad. I like going to other countries, but usually after such vacation, you require another vacation to relax from that first one. So as far as relaxing, I like anything to do with the beach, because you don't really have that far to go unless you're doing some trip around there. And just the water and the repetitive noise, that's what really calms me down. So, all right. Ben, I'm going to cover the tab here.
All right.
I owe you. We'll take it as I owe you. I know, you owe me a beer, whatever. I'm going to pay it this time. Go do your thing. We'll meet again here sometime again.
All right, then.
Hope you guys enjoyed this new style chat, and go check out Ben. And we'll be back sometime. Maybe we're going to go to Tokyo next time. What
That'd
do you
be
think,
cool,
Ben?
yeah. Tokyo City.
One of your favorite. All right.
Yeah, strip bar. Excellent.
All right. Goodbye, sir.
All right, I'll catch you later.
Should we do handshake? No, I'm not doing this handshake stuff. Just get out of here.
Yeah,
Get out of here before I change my mind.
See ya.
All right. Goodbye, guys.
Subscribe and comment down below, and maybe you can be on our next show.
Oh, hey there. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Facebook. That's right. Oh, and watch our last interview. Yeah, the previous interview here. Oh, funniest moments. Well, Both awesome. That was a good one, too. That was a good one. And funniest moments, you can't miss those. Oh, if you want to be on the show, or if there's a YouTuber, a favorite YouTuber you want to see on the show, let us know down below. Yeah. Oh, I gotta go, guys. So, see you on the next show.
Be sure to check out Arthur Kidawa's gameplays, monsters, and other work.